So Madison got her some Quick Way, and then she got her some Miller Lite 9-pack. She got them aluminum bottles. Who the fuck drinks Miller Lite aluminum bottles with Quick Way hibachi? She got her that. She got her that hibachi with the aluminum bottles. Hibachi with the aluminum bottles. This whole thing, she your model. Wonder if she swallow.
Hi, welcome to our support. My name is Jay. We have the pleasure of speaking with.
What support are you?
I'm from the accounts department, sir.
Oh my gosh, yo. I swear, y'all need to get better support people. This is ridiculous sometimes. I asked to speak to an Uber Eats supervisor. And I don't, I guess the lady didn't understand. I clearly said Uber Eats supervisor, not account. But either way, I need to talk to an Uber Eats supervisor.
All right, sir. Yeah, let's go ahead and connect you over to them. Right?
All right, thank you.
All right. Yeah, and I'm so sorry for the inconvenience earlier, so let me go ahead and pick it up. Okay?
I'm telling you. See, I can't record on this phone too. This sucks. Did I take my GoPro in yesterday? Yeah, I cleaned my fucking car out, man. But I'm telling you, these people, the support people that do Uber Eats, are some of the dumbest people that I've ever talked to in my life. Because basically, not transfer me over to the right people to where I have to sit here and explain the situation 8 or more times. This has been because I do Uber a lot, and look, I get hung up on. What the fuck? Yo, I'm telling you, yo, they are like, it's like Uber does that. Like, I feel like Uber does that on purpose. Like, they hire these people that have like the brain capacity of like a rock. Because I'm not even gonna say a baby. My daughters were smart, right? These people have no intelligence at all. They're like husk. I feel like most of the time I'm talking to a dead body.
Uber support. Let's get you to the right age.
I feel like
This call will be recorded for quality and training purposes.
and another reason why
I did not get that. If you need help with your ongoing delivery, yes, or press 1.
yes,
Or if you're...
the reason why they don't have support in this country is because they know that we would go and beat the crap out of anybody.
Or I can't find the store.
I need to talk to an agent.
No problem. Why can't you over to the right agent? Are you calling because the store is closed?
No, I'm calling for a different reason.
Before I connect you, please say your date of birth for verification. For example, got it. September 15th, 1984. Please stay on the line. We will connect you to the next available team member.
Pain on my eyes, all I can see E. I'm gonna give some hoes some ditches. Make the hoe eat me for dinner. Pain on my eyes, I can't see. I'm gonna have to leave on my body. I'm about to let my body till the whole leave. So we're talking to Uber support. Uber support. What they give you no fucking support.
Hi, thank you for calling Uber support. My name is Dexter. Can I have your first and last name, please?
Yeah, my first name is Lane and my last name is Rolling.
Thank you. How may I help you?
So basically I needed to talk to a supervisor.
Alright, so let me double check. Let me see if there's gonna be available. Okay? One moment, please. Hold on.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hold on.
This is hilarious. Cause you know that's not how I talk. I don't talk like that. I don't talk like that. You know what I mean? I don't talk like that. But I do talk like this. I do talk like this. Hi, can I get some help, please? I really want to talk to a supervisor. I have an issue that I need to be taken care of immediately. ASAP. This is very, very unprofessional. How'd you meet her? And you better not say the freaking internet. I'm telling you, man, you gonna end up in a TikTok story. Man. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what happened to Facebook dating. This guy just got murdered. Outed. Gamer. Met girl off Facebook dating. Really, it was a setup. She lured him in. She told him that she was gonna rub his feet and be his forever. But really, she was just out to steal his skin. When they met up, she offered him a drink. He was very thirsty, so he drank it. And then he woke up chained to the bed. And when he looked around, there was a bunch of men's skins hanging all over the wall. She told him, you're gonna have to guess my favorite candy to be let free. That's cool. As long as you FaceTime, that's good. What? You need to pass her my way, big bro. Sounds like she was meant for me. She was meant for me. She was playing it on FT. What the fuck is FT? Oh, FaceTime. She was playing it on. She was telling me she watches true crime documentaries. See, that's what I told you, man. She watches true crime documentaries and she's trying to be in one. She lures men in on Facebook, dating. She FaceTimes them to lure them in even more. And then as soon as you meet her, we'll never see Alden ever again. Until 15 or 20 years later when she finally gets caught. But she'll be an old woman by then and you'll just be one of the bodies that was buried somewhere in America. Nah, I'm just messing with you. But, oh snap, I be thinking about stuff like that. Yeah, I be thinking about stuff like that when I meet up with chicks, because I be watching those too, and that's how they start. Especially now, man. There's been like, there's at least 10 different stories of guys meeting up with women like that. I just watched Law and Order, where like it wasn't like that, but basically um, it was similar. This guy knew this girl, but he hit her up through like Instagram or something. It could have even been Facebook. He hit her up somewhere like on a social media site, and he knew her, and he hollered at her and was like, "Hey, what's up?" And she didn't respond right away. But then these other guys that she was hanging with, they go around and rob people. So basically, they were like, "Yo, we're trying to rob him. Hit him up and get it set up." So she hit him up and was like, "Hey, I want to chill with you," and he was all down for it and shit. And basically, they showed up. And she was like, "I got my friend." He was really happy because he had his boy with him, but um, they show up at the front door and they knock. And he's open up the front door. There's like the two other guys come in with guns, and they're like, "Give me all your shit." And as they're doing this other dude comes out the back that's like with the boy that's being set up, and he shoots one of the guys, and then that guy falls on the ground and then shoots the other guy, and then the other two guys get shot. So only one of the guys survives, and the two girls survive, and then the main guy that set up the robbery survives. And then they all go to court, and the only people that got off were the girls, and then they locked the guys up. They locked the guy up. Excuse me. Yeah, Madison got it. She's going Madison got she had Miller Lite. I just got Madison. You and her have a lot in common. I would hope so. Oh my god, this is what I fucking hate too, yeah. It's like people don't fucking respect the time, you know. I don't got time to be sitting around waiting for shit.
You ready, man?
My ID? Where you gonna see my ID?
Oh, God.
I can't even get the orders unless I show my ID. Like, Uber's not gonna give me the thing unless I show my ID. We'll go get the beer first.
Huh?
Go get the beer first.
Show ID, boss.
Go get the beer first and bring it here. I'm not trying to wait. You already had me waiting here for 5 minutes. Well, bring it over here.
What?
You see, like, you see the ignorance. Like, how am I gonna get a fucking Uber? How is it gonna give me fucking orders for this shit? Alright, I want you to remember this when you see this. I'm 40 years old. You don't even need to ID me no more. Huh? know what I'm saying? You're not even supposed to ID me, right?
Boss, it's not a big deal.
Huh?
It's my job, boss.
No, I know, but somebody who's over the age of 40, you don't need to ID them anymore. Just like somebody who looks like they're 30, you don't need to ID them for cigarettes. That's the rules. Me and her have a lot in common. It's like, yeah, I'm fucking 40 years old. It's like, damn, like, I should be able to not be ID'd when I'm fucking 40, right? If someone is 40, do they still need to be ID'd at stores? When someone is 40, do they still need to be ID'd? Oh, I can't do it. I can type it in. When someone is 40, do they still read the law. You're not required to show ID if you look way over the age of 21 to buy ID. So
What?
I'm 40.
Uber don't need ID, boss.
No, but see, like Uber,
Are
right?
you 40? I don't know it.
Hold on, no. Uber, right? Like, just listen to me. When Uber gives me the my ID and they know that I'm over 21, if somebody was 18, they would not give them permission to pick the
Job, you know? This one? You need a job.
Yeah, but it says, I guarantee you it says if the person looks under 21. See, people never fucking listen. It's the same shit that I'm talking about that I'm having to deal with. Especially this one, I don't like this area, right? This area has a high volume of it has a high volume of people from other countries. And people from other countries don't fully understand America customs, right? So it's like with me, Uber is like this with this app, right? Uber allows us to pick up alcohol, right? Now, you have to be 21 to do Uber anyway. Oh, let me see. How old do you have? Oh, I can't do it like that way. I don't know. Maybe you got to be 18. Let me see. Okay, so right here, you must be 21 years of age to drive for Uber. This is the minimum age criteria set by Uber. I need to show him this. Well, actually, I'm not going to show him because he's not going to understand anyway. But I'm just proving my point anyway, right? So I'm here to pick up Uber order. You got to be 21 to drive from Uber anyway. So if I have an Uber account, right, and they're sending me to pick up alcohol, you already know I'm fucking 21. Why the fuck do I need to show you my ID, right? Then it's not even the law for me to show my fucking ID. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to show my ID to get the alcohol unless I look like a fucking kid. And at that point, it'd be like, oh, well, you know, like when I was 21, I looked like I was like 17 still. I had no fucking facial hair, nothing. I looked like a fucking kid. So, yeah, granted, at that point, it makes sense. Ask me for my fucking ID. But I'm 40 now. I gotta fucking, like, I'm fucking kinda overweight. I get a big ass fucking beard, and I'm fucking doing Uber Eats, which is a 21 and up fucking job. It don't even fucking make any sense. And it's weird to me, nobody fucking asks me for my ID when I do that shit, you know? It's always like little pricks. There's always these little pricks in life that just be doing too much. Even at the fucking grocery store, when I buy alcohol, they don't even ask me for alcohol because I usually go to the self-checkout and I'll just scan the shit and the people will just come over and just type the code in, have a nice night, and then I'm good to go. I've never been carded for fucking alcohol. Forever. It's the same thing as like if you go into a bar. It would be like, this is the equivalent to this. Most like clubs or nightclubs, they ID you before you go in, right? So if and this is so the bartender doesn't have to ask for everybody's ID, right? It's like if I'm in the club, I'm 21. Because as soon as I get to the club, they're gonna be, let me see your ID. Oh, he's 21. You're good to go because you gotta be 21 out to be in a bar that serves alcohol. Right? Or or it might be not that, and they have to put X's on your hands and shit. Like if you're 18, if you're like 18 to 21 or 18 to 20, they put X's on your fucking hands, right? But here we go with this again, yo. Why are you fucking speeding on a fucking exit ramp? I fucking hate people. Alright, so I get into the bar, and then I go to the fucking bartender, and I'm like, hey, let me get a fucking drink, and they're like, let me see your ID. I'm like, motherfucker, I had to be 21 to get into the fucking bar. Like, you're just asking for my ID just to be a fucking dick. It's like, who knows where my ID is? You know, I could have went to coat checkout. Like, I could have checked my coat and just brought my credit card with me, right? In my coat, and then checked my coat. So now you want me to go all the way back over to get my fucking coat, get my ID, to show it to you, and then I gotta go back over to code checkout to put my ID back in my wallet because I don't want to lose my wallet. Because I used to be really bad with that shit, you know? Like, if I didn't do that back in the day, I would have lost my fucking ID, hands down. Because, I remember one time I spent like $700 in one night. And, I went to this fucking bar, and I was like faded already. I met this chick, and then somebody hit me up to go to like an after party. Like somebody that was at the bar was like, man, there's this after party. I asked her, do you want to go? She's like, yeah. So I fucking forgot that I even had a tab. And I just fucking leave the bar. And we go to this fucking after party. And then after the after party, I end up going back to her house. And I fucking smash and shit. And then I wake up the next day. And it was like when I smoked cigarettes and shit. And I was also trying to go get, like, smoke a blunt. And, I wake up the next day. And we walk to the fucking store. That was around the corner from her house. And I asked for cigarettes. I got coffee. I got something else, maybe like a donut or some shit, right? I had all this shit, and I asked for blunt and cigarettes. And then when it was time for me to pay, I like go in my wallet and my fucking ATM card's not in there. And I'm like, what? Where the fuck is my ATM card? And I started like panicking. And I'm like, yo, I honestly don't lose shit. Right? Like, I'm not a person that loses shit. So I'm like, what the fuck did I do? And then I remember, I'm like, where did I go? What did I do? And I remember opening a tab at that fucking bar and then leaving without ever closing my tab. Like, I can just remember, like, leaving without closing my fucking tab. And it didn't even think anything. I didn't even think nothing of it at the fucking time. So, fucking now, I have to call the bar. And they're like, the answer machine's like, we don't open up until 6 o'clock. Luckily, it was a Saturday. If it was Sunday, they didn't open up until Monday, I think. But this is what they fucking tell me. We don't fucking open up until like 6 o'clock or something. So I had to went to the bar like later that night, right? And I mean, granted, I had like cash at my house, and it just fucked me over then. But the chick that I was with, she ended up having to pay for shit. It just made me look bad. Well, I really didn't give a fuck, but because I was buying her drinks the night before. So when I get my fucking card back, what bars do pretty much anywhere, let's say you fucking spend, like, I think my tab itself was close to $400 or some shit like that. Might have been a little bit more, right? So if you don't close your tab, what they do is they automatically charge you 40% gratuity. So that means like tipping the bartender and shit like that. So you might only tip 10 to 20% usually, right? You might tip the bartender $20 or $40 depending on how much you spent, right? You know what I mean? If you spend like $100, tip the bartender like 10 to 15, maybe 20 if they were really good to you or some shit. But 40% gratuity is like some crazy shit. It's like they're fucking punishing you for not paying fucking attention. And that's what the fuck they did. So my fucking tab now is fucking 70. Madison? Okay. I was making sure I found the right place. My home address. So let me grab this. You had 2 orders, right? You had the Yo, you see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? That customer tipped me, like, they tipped me a lot. I'm gonna go in here, right? Made $22 off of that delivery. It was super freaking easy. So yeah, she tipped me $12. Actually, almost like $13. Oh, perfect. But they fucking, I went back to the fucking bar and they fucking charged me, man, I paid over $700 fucking alcohol, yeah. I was fucking pissed. And it was like, luckily, I wasn't in the position I am now. I was making a lot of fucking money then. But it was like $700 was fucking a lot. Just spend no fucking alcohol, and I really didn't get nothing out of it. I think I spent more in gratuity than I did on fucking the alcohol. So anytime after that, I always make sure to close my fucking tab. And it made me stop drinking as much for like a little while. That was like right around the time that I smoked DMT for the first time and then just quit drinking altogether. And that's probably like the biggest fucking ripoff ever on bars. I just saw a TikTok video about that shit too. And this guy said he was a bar back at a bartender, which I knew people that but basically, like, let's say you go to a bar, and I don't think it's every bar, it's a lot of them, and you order like some top shelf liquor, like some Don Julio, you know, tequila and shit like that, some shit that's like very expensive. It's not actually that. They'll get some cheaper. So like if you're buying Don Julio, they'll get some shit that's under that and fill the bottle up, right? And then if you're ordering some shit that's kind of expensive, then they'll fill it up with some shit that's under that. So it'll be like, I'll give you that. So if it's $150 bottle of, they'll fill it up with like $100 bottle or something. If it's $100 bottle or something, fill it up with some fucking $50 bottle of shit. If it's $50 bottle of shit, fill it up with some shit that's like $25. And that's the way that they do, you know what I mean, make their little profit margins and shit. To me, I think this shit is fucking, it's fucked up. You're paying a lot for fucking alcohol, you know. It's like, Man, some drinks can cost you like $40 fucking. Top shelf liquor, man, you can spend like $40 fucking on one little fucking mixed drink. Like compared to buying a whole fucking bottle. Like this, right? You fucking, let's say let's say you get mixed drinks, right? And you get three of a mixed drink, right? So you get three of whatever mixed drink, and it's some type of liquor. Those three mixed drinks pays for a whole bottle in a liquor store. So it's like, what the fuck? Like, we fucking shit ton of money just to drink out. Hey, what's up? I got a Uber Eats pickup for Steph. Thank you. Have a good night. But I did get free food tonight already. That's another good thing about this job, right? If you do this job every day, you're guaranteed to get free food. Especially if you do it like for a couple hours, you're guaranteed to get free food. And then most of the time now I get free liquor. Like I got 2 bottles. I got $200 worth of wine. And it sucks because I don't drink. So I'm like, what the fuck? You know what am I gonna do with this wine? I'm out there under her body, tell her to leave. Paint on my eyes, I can't see. I'm about to nut in that whole body, tell that whole leave. I'm like, what? You about to nut in her body and tell that whole leave? It's more smart. You know what I mean? Like, that's just like, it doesn't sound very, it's very counterintuitive. I'm gonna nut in the hoe and then tell her to leave. So then she can hit you back up 9 months later talking about, this baby is yours. The baby is not mine.
The remaining third of the bottle until it had all disappeared. He tossed the empty carelessly in front of him and it lipped himself. Cemetery strain. Cemetery. Halloween night. The Wicked Wager. Hurdle walked over to Lawrence in the break room while he sat at a rectangular table devouring a paper. No sanity, no service. The cluster of bells hanging from the door of the Tokyo Express rung a handful of times as Edmund stepped into Lawrence's admission and his own secretions. He'd slipped on a pair of the inpatient standard psychiatric pants and some ragged boots he'd acquired in the locker room. He appeared a distant separation from stability, having failed to clean the sizable splattering of crimson and feces off his backside. He was either the most disturbing real-life mess anyone would encounter in their lifetime, or an epic Halloween costume. Considering the proximity of the restaurant to the Ladd Institute, the chef chose not to believe the latter. The stench of funk and filth that was leaping off of Edmund was probably the tiebreaker. Even if it was a costume, it was bad for business, a real profit killer. No one was going to be able to swallow a bit of their meal with his rancid scent stirring about the dining room. The skinny Japanese man slammed the meat cleaver down into the wooden board with the raw duck atop it. "Hey, we close now," he explained, crossing his arm behind the glass fish meat case. "Please, you leave now." Edmund did no such thing, not because he wanted to deliberately defy him, but because he couldn't truly comprehend him. There was a He wasn't exactly in the mood to follow directions, considering that's all he'd ever done during his time on Earth. There was only a tight-knit group of patrons dining inside the restaurant at the time of his arrival. A threesome of stoned hippie chicks sat shoeless and Indian style in the smaller room. The trio had just started sipping on their miso soup. They watched intently, all a tad unnerved, after the ghastly-looking deranged lunatic had entered. The cannabis that smoked a bag of gummies they'd been chewing on for the last few hours only served to further fester their paranoia. The sugary trip treats had just started to kick in. What timing? Why was he here? Was it a joke? The questions jogging through their minds, which regardless of the correct answer, still left them lingering helplessly in a bizarre scenario. They needed to know if it was terrifying, in a pay-to-enter haunted house kind of way,
Hi, thank you for calling Uber support. This call will be recorded for training purposes. Looks like you have a question about your current live order. Is that correct?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes.
Before I connect you, please say your date of birth for verification. For example, say January 1st, 1975.
September 15th, 1984.
Got it. September 15th, 1984. Please stay on the line, and we will connect you to the next available team member. calling over support. This is Angel. How can I help you?
Yes. So I'm basically hello, can you hear me?
Hi, thank you for calling over support. This is Angel. How can I help you?
Yes, I've tried to call in several times, and for some reason I keep getting disconnected. But I've been trying to reach a Uber Eats supervisor.
I know the reason why you want to speak with a supervisor.
Yeah, it's several issues that have happened tonight and an issue that happened last night, and they told me if it was not like fixed by today that I should call in and try to talk to a supervisor.
What several issues do you have, sir?
Basically, delivering to a customer and the way that they were kind of rude to me, and the biggest issue is last night I had to make a delivery where I had to drive an extra 28 miles to drop off the order due to a road being blocked off. So I had to call and report the issue, and basically they said that I should be getting not reimbursed, but basically I should be getting paid for the correct fare, and I have not been paid correctly yet. So that's what I'm calling it for.
Stand the line. Thank you for that. Stand the line. I'll be connecting you.
To a supervisor?
Yes, sir. Stand the line, okay? Thank you.
Okay. Let's see.
I ain't gonna lie, got you. I ain't gonna lie, you out of line. Shit. I got you. Yeah, go ahead. I got you.
Put the light in there. It's on. You need lights in.
Hey, he got the light with him. What the mean?
Got it.
Drop. You got your light with you, bro.
Tell me about where
Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way.
Because of IPL, I've been able to.
Yo, what do you got in your hand?
It's for a special collab. There's a custom shoes with Cowboy Killers, the cigarettes brand. They're actually super tough. With actual laces.
Now somebody sent me this video and told me watch what this girl doing this motorcycle. But why did y'all send me this? Ain't no way! Bro, I know you lying. Bro, I can't sit on the edge of the bed without falling and she can do that. Man, ain't no way. Are you serious right now, bro? Oh, she one of those. I ain't never seen no girl do that in my life, bro. Come on now. That's hard, bro. That's hard, bro. What?
Y'all, they having a fight on the highway. Lord have mercy. Woo! Woo! Oh, shit! Woo! Woo! They finna fight! Man, they mad as hell. Shit, they mad. Ooh. Who wanna start their morning off like this? Oh my God. I feel like I'm from the witness some kind of fucked up ass shit. This Chicago, people crazy. Ooh, 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 ooh. They not playing. They really serious. They really fucking mad. Really fucking mad. Oh shit! Oh shit! He hit him. He hit him. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! It's a fight! It's a fight! Y'all, they having a fight.
listened to the flapping of his flesh from the destroyed portion of his face as their unease erected to a climax. Edmund pointed at the glass containing the fish, his nasty dripping fingers smearing their vile coating all over the case. He tapped at it mindlessly as the peanut-colored concoction I said out! Out! Around the case and positioning himself as if to square up with him. The guy had some balls, massive stones. Would have helped ward off an intruder or surly customer. Edmund had zero reaction to the chef stepping.
Welcome to Washington, D.C.
Reaction to the chef stepping up initially, but when his reflexes were tested, the response was swift and unmerciful. The chef laid a roundhouse kick up toward Edmund's head, but it had no chance of reaching the target. It was stunted before it was ever a threat. Edmund's overgrown hand easily encased his foot, crushing and compressing it until it was just a leaking ball of bone, skin, and wetness. The ruby bones had splintered appallingly, piercing through his lightweight shoes. He fell to the ground, screaming in agony, slowly dragging himself back behind the main counter. While shock set in on the chef, Edmund smashed the glass case in front of him and palmed a big glob that was a mixture of raw tuna and salmon. He mashed it up and inserted the soft-textured wad into his dangling, wrinkled feeding hole. Saliva raining out, and the damp chunks of mush he was unable to swallow hit the floor below him. He turned his attention to the three hippie girls as they headed for the door. He reached through the shattered glass and removed the massive cleaver board. As the frightened teens tried to single-file their way out, Edmund took aim with the cleaver, launching a Roger Clemens caliber fastball that sent the blade cycloning with an unforgiving projection. It landed smack in the center of the first girl's face, peeling down to the midway point of her brain. She fell, barreling backwards into her fellow meditating vegetarians, knocking them down like bowling pins. He placed his shack-sized foot onto the flimsy chest of the girl who'd been the recipient of the cleaver. His dead weight pressed into her sternum, blaring out a sickening crunch and collapsing it inward. He pulled the handle and removed the stained steel. The two footing, so he sent it her way next. It landed deep in her shoulder and halfway through the wooden wall, pinning her to it. She screamed like a maniac while bound to the boards in front of her. Her head was twisted sideways, leaving her to watch her only remaining friend as Edmund bent over and grabbed her by the hair. He dragged her back over to the small table that the evening had started off so enjoyably at. He grabbed a chopstick off the table in front of him, which looked more like a toothpick when surrounded by his hand. He jammed it into her ear hole and pressed his finger on the butt of it, making sure it went as deep as possible. She quivered and cried a short time before the second one came. Hand up, but that did little to cushion the blow. He both impaled her head He ripped it back out, and her bloody hand fell limp before he drove it with communication, because her vocal wailings cut out immediately. He continued to put chopsticks through all different angles of her head. It got easier as he progressed. She was seeing the light. By the end, atop the girl's shoulders looked closer to a gang than a skull. He pinhead himself. Edmund had created a wooden version of Clive Barker's legendary horror icon. Edmund turned his attention back to the screaming girl restrained to the wall by the meat cleaver. He thrust a trio of his bulbous sausage-like fingers around her jaw. A talon-like death grip saw his index and middle fingers hook in between her molars, while his thumb clamped below her chin. Her tongue waved in many directions like a child running on the horse with a sparkler. His muscle pulsated before he yanked backward, detaching the lower jaw entirely and tossing it behind him into a small koi pond. The underfed excitedly, biting at the raw meat like savages, creating a restaurant roll river. Edmund followed up, punching the exposed throat area he'd just created. The disgusting crunch caused the girl to shut down and slouch. She still remained standing, even in death, due to the massive steel blade pinning her to the wall. The weight of her body caused the edge of the steel to slice in deeper and exude a reservoir of red that one could have showered in. Edmund shifted his attention back over to the chef. Streaming flaps that separated the kitchen from the dining room. He laid, holding his leg on the inside. Edmund stepped and spat while cursing in his native tongue. The chef seemed like he might pass out from the suffering he was overcome with, eyes flickering in his head like the power kept switching on and off. Edmund reached for a large pan of oil that remained on the stove beside him. He gazed down into the still sizzling and popping overused fluid. Drawing the wok closer to the chef, he sloppily dumped the fine stream into his mouth, much of which seemed to run down him before it started making his face smoke and blister. The lighter skin had transitioned to a raw and painful red. gagged and choked as Edmund continued pouring the rest of the lava like lubricant. Most of the flesh had been
Hope
burned
we don't
off
get recognized where he
and
lives.
reached for the second pan. The chef had ceased any movement, defenses were down, and his breathing was faint. These factors made it easier for him to pour the entire additional pan down his esophagus and into his throat, eventually burning a gaping hole into the back of it. The oil that leaked from the freshly singed opening drizzled out slothfully into the sink below him. Edmund lifted the chef's lifeless body and tossed it on top of the lit kitchen to the stomach-churning sound of human skin searing behind him. When Edmund was finally finished with Tokyo Express, the interior looked like almost every inch had been decorated with the most unsettling Halloween decor of all time. As Herschel looked on, he knew the mayhem he watched unfold was just a sample of things to come. He hadn't even seen him get to the young ones yet. He couldn't let it stop there. He entered the restaurant and quickly flipped the open sign over to closed, and dried. The area was dead, even before Edmund had shown up. He marveled at the chaos Edmund had released up close, moving toward the far back of the restaurant before flipping all the lights off. He could smell a peculiar odor inside the eatery, something he wasn't familiar with. The sizzle of the grill drew him back toward the kitchen to investigate. It would be a miracle if anyone walked away from this massacre. When he entered the kitchen, he zeroed in on the chef's corpse. It was motionless. It was a fire hazard. He didn't want police or firefighters getting a hint or showing up to put an end to Edmund's mayhem so early. Alertly, he dragged the body from the grill and turned off the heat. Crisis averted, Bedlam was still on the loose. Suddenly, he heard a noise that sounded like someone coughing from down the hallway. He removed a revolver from the inside his coat and inched closer till he came upon the men's room door. He opened it cautiously, noticing a pair of feet under the corner stall. Herschel quietly switched his position to the stall on the far left of the restroom, which was right beside the sinks. When the stall's occupant exited, that would draw him right toward him. A slug would be the last thing he ever saw. But that wasn't the case. When the toilet flushed, a man wearing a cook's outfit exited the stall and failed to wash his hands as the sign on the wall demanded. Notice, all employees must wash hands before returning to work. Son of a bitch ignored it, Herschel thought, rage beginning to swell. The man's earbuds were inserted firmly. He was oblivious to everything going on. Herschel rushed out of the bathroom, aiming the gun at him before he started screaming. "Hey you, turn your ass around now." The man had no reaction and continued walking. Herschel, "You handle food in here. Why didn't you wash?" "Please, I'm sorry, there's no soap," he lied. "You could have still rinsed them off. Why didn't you at least rinse it? I've eaten here before. Now I gotta think about your nasty ass making my meal. It's disgusting. It's unacceptable." "I'm very sorry. I go back and wash everything now, okay?" the man pleaded. "That ain't gonna work, partner. People like you never change." "I change. Never again, sir. Never again." "You'll always be just a filthy fucking slob." Herschel pulled the trigger until it clicked, unleashing a hail of gunfire that peppered the cook from head to toe.
Like
the numerous wounds
12
were
or 1.
colors spewing out from his carcass as he dropped to his knees and tumbled over sideways. He tried to make a final statement, maybe a deathbed confession, but history would not be able to catalog it. All that Herschel could make out were a few sad cries and gurgles. Scary bastard. Timmy and his sister Anne sat fidgeting in the back of the wagon as the full moon's glow trickled in through the windows. Timmy's scarecrow outfit was a great compliment to his sister's Dorothy outfit. His dad was the lion, and of course, that would make his mom the Wicked Witch of the West. "Are we there yet?" Timmy barked, developing more impatience with each mile they drove. "Damn it, Timmy. I told you, we're almost there. Now stop asking." Donald fired back at his son, finally fed up with the constant nagging. "Mommy, it's not going to be too scary, is it?" Anne inquired, in a cowardly tone that most 5-year-olds would find themselves exercising at one point or another. "No, honey, just remember it's all make-believe. They are all just dressed up like us, having fun for Halloween. Everyone wants to scare each other, but really, there isn't anything to be scared of," Ruth reassured her. "Really? Really? Have I ever lied to you before, sweetie?" Anne shook her head. "Plus, me and Daddy would never let anything happen to you, okay, baby?" Anne grinned, brandishing her tiny teeth and looking up at her mother. The explanation comforted her. "Here we are," Donald bellowed out while pulling onto the dirt road. It was easy for them to find parking since there were only a handful of cars in the gravel lot. "Aren't you glad we came early? No one is even here yet," Donald asked, looking over to Ruth. "You were right. Great call, honey," she concurred, kissing him on the lips before leaving the car. Donald let his "I told you so" smirk hang on his face. To him, there was never a doubt about it. They all walked up to the slender vampire standing at the head of the corn maze, thumbing at his phone. Did Dracula do a lot of texting? The carefree, boyish vampire looked up at him. "I'm Nosferatu, sir. Thank you. How many?" he remarked, without really answering the question. "Come on, man. You're killing the atmosphere, and we haven't even got in yet," Donald quipped. "Donald, just forget it. 2 children and 2 adults, please," Ruth responded, shifting gears from her husband's sharp critiques. "Here you are. That will be $65, please," the vampire replied while handing over their tickets. $65? Oh, I know why you people don't put the prices on your site. This is just a field, man. Are you kidding? "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to please calm down and not yell." Ruth handed the money over to the vampire quickly after the brief tantrum, knowing they weren't turning around purely based on a stiff price. They'd never hear the end of it from the kids, and that alone was worth the price of admission. Donald looked him in the eye, squinting before moving on. "I get it now." "Get what, sir?" he asked in a condescending tone that indicated he had zero interest in Donald's answer. "Your costume. You guys really are just a bunch of fucking bloodsuckers, aren't you?" he dabbed before moving past him. "Donald!" Ruth exclaimed, smacking him in the chest before dragging him away from the shell-shocked teen. "That type of language in front of the kids?" she whispered to him. "We don't want Timmy learning any other words, remember?" "Right. I'm sorry, honey. It's just, this place is freaking racket. This is completely outside the range of reason." "I agree, but kids really want to see it. So let's not let the price stop us from having a good time, okay?" "That's right, baby. We are good parents. You're right. This is why I married you. That, and you have a really nice ass." Ruth cut off a crude remark with an affectionate kiss, holding it for long enough to calm him down before they got up to the kids. "Hey, Timmy, buddy, do this together, okay?" The children came to a halt, waiting for their parents before moving. They collectively took some slow steps, taking in the creepy atmosphere that the dimly lit corner had to its lights. As they came to the first fork in the path, Donald looked down at Timmy for guidance. "Okay, buddy, what's it gonna be? We'll let you pick the first one, left or right." "Left!" Timmy screamed, racing down the path like a bat out of hell. They could still see him a bit further up as he moved another corner, but instead of blazing the trail further, he stopped dead in his tracks. "Dad! Mom!" The rest of the family display that seemed to have Timmy so startled. Donald figured that it must have been pretty cool because his boy was not known to rattle easily. As they got closer, the picture came into focus. A man, dressed as a clown, sat atop a few bales of hay, his head completely missing and a mushy pile of crushed humanity strewn over his lap. Donald stood by the man, viewing the blood still oozing down from his jumbled neck area. "How do they make it look so real? When you look close, it's even bleeding, babe." "I thought this maze was appropriate for children," Ruth whispered back to him. "It said it was. I mean, that idiot out front even sold us passes for the kids. This fucking place is something else," Donald moaned, now even more irate than when he'd entered. "Fucking place!" Timmy yelled. "Timmy, hey! Watch the language, mister," Ruth reprimanded.
Alright, we gotta go into the stove. There's a famous skate spot right here too. I'm gonna show it to y'all. Right there. That's Gold Rail. It's a very famous skate spot. I've gotten like I had like maybe like 7 tricks on that. I can't believe they they freaking knobbed it though. So I need Lysol. So Lysol be up here downstairs. Let me see. Someone saw medicine. So I think that is downstairs. Yep. Oh no, I'm stuck out there. Alright, so I gotta get Lysol. This one right here. Is that the same one? Maybe it's this. Oh, it's a smaller one that I need to get. What? Yeah, this is the right one. Damn it, I gotta fucking pee. I need Mucinex.
Are the allergies? Oh. But mine's not a medicine. It's just a spray.
Those look here. They're also here.
Oh, medicated drops.
Just needed like a saline. Sinus ring.
Oh, it's right here. What's this, 40 drops? Then we went 20. Yeah, we're at fucking 20. my god. Yeah, hold on, guys. Excuse me. Do you have a bathroom? Okay, we all good. Put that shit back.
Up at him, trying to suppress his disgust for what he was feeling, while Lou told her nose, "Boy, you guys really take this stuff seriously. How long did you go without bathing leading up to this?" Away from them in the outskirts of the maze. "Baby, he's just playing a monster. He stopped making the noise. You can come back over here now, okay?" Anne was registering what he was saying, but still remained hesitant, examining his deformed frame as she stood speechless and shaking. "It's fine, baby. He's not going to do anything." Donald's final words were cut short by the collision of his skull with his wife's. The old adage, "two heads are better than one," had come to life, and the soulmates quickly learned there was no literal truth to the saying. Edmund's mammoth hands clapped together, sending shards of cranium bone, blood, and sopping meat erupting into the air. Their bodies hit the dirt static as the pinata load of bloodshed showered all-creating horror as Edmund rapidly got his hands around him. With Edmund's back turned, Anne melted into the thick cornstalks and watched Timmy while staying hidden in a darkened patch of field. While tears streamed for her parents, her dread kept her in check. Somehow, she was able to find the strength to maintain a suffocating silence. Anne was still hopeful that her brother might find a method of escape. She prayed to God that he'd give him means to slip away. She wanted to call out to him and tell him to run, but feared the next word he spoke could be her last. She continued praying in her head, screaming out telepathically, but it didn't make a difference. Her nervous prayer was abruptly snuffed out when Edmund removed the scarecrow puppet from the sharpened stake it had been impaled upon. He set it up at a slightly diagonal angle. Edmund stared expressionlessly at the little wood projecting upward, running his meaty finger over the tip that stood about his height. He lifted up Timmy's squirming body and set him down swiftly. As the moonlight embraced them, the sharpened spike drove up into his ass, splintering his rectal tissue. He pulled him up and down, violently sodomizing the boy, and further opening the blood-filled, shitty gape that had permanently stretched his innocent asshole. The hot red fluid filled Timmy's suit as Edmund now stopped fluctuating the boy and applied more pressure. As he worked him further down the oak shaft, the jagged wood continued and intestines made their way out of his mouth. The forced regurgitation of his shaking was silent. Tim struggled to free himself as he finally lost control of his... stood stationary, as if admiring his handiwork. He looked up at the yellow moon in the background, and then back to as the life drained out of her brother. She did everything she could to avoid making the slightest noise while Edmund drove the...
Hi, thank you for calling for support. The read agent. Para español. Please note this call will be recorded for quality and training purposes. I see you currently have an ongoing delivery. If you need help with this order, say yes. Or, if you are calling about something else, say no.
No.
Now, please tell me how I can help you today.
Talk to an agent.
What happened to my cancellation fee? Or, I'm not getting trip requests.
Talk to an agent.
I think you're asking to talk to an agent. To better assist you, please help me understand why you're calling today.
Previous trip.
Things like problem cashing out or trip missing from my app.
Previous trip.
What type of trip issue are you calling about? You can say things like missing trip or question about a recent fare.
Missing trip.
Hear that again. I understand you are calling about missing trips. Is the trip completely missing from your earnings activity?
Yes.
Or you do see all your trips, but just that the total amount earned is incorrect.
Yes.
I didn't get that. You can say a trip is completely missing, or
completely missing.
Got it. Trips can take up to 48 hours to appear in your driver dashboard. If the trip is less than 48 hours old, please check back later. If the trip still isn't in your dashboard after 48 hours, you can file a claim. Open the app, tap Help, then tap
Talk to agent.
In order to transfer you to the best agent, can you tell me whether your delivery is related to a shop and pay order?
No.
Okay, Uber Eats support. Before I connect you, please say your date of birth for verification.
September 15th, 1984.
Got it. September 15th, 1984. Please stay on the line, and we will connect you to the next member.
Will you please make sure to put me over to a supervisor? Like, I don't want to get put to any right? So that's why I'm just saying, if I explain this to you, can you please make sure that you put me over to a supervisor, not priority support, not shop and pay, not anything. I'm explaining to you. Okay, so it's two different issues. It's an issue that happened to me earlier tonight where I basically arrived at a customer's location. The person had no parking out in front. They lived on like they live in an apartment. Their apartment was on a busy road. So when I arrived, I texted them and let them know that I arrived. And I tried to call them. They didn't answer. I double parked my car and walked to the front of their building. But to get access, basically, there's usually a concierge or somebody that works in the lobby. That person was not there. so I couldn't get in. My car's double parked, so I'm sitting there waiting to see if somebody comes, like another resident or somebody would come out. Nobody came out. My car's double parked outside. As this happens, a police officer pulls up and tells me I'm not allowed to park there. So as I'm about to like move my car, the person texts me and basically tells me that I can park in this garage. And there's 2 different garages, so I call the customer. They pick up at this time. By this time, the timer is almost up. I've been there almost 10 minutes, right? So then the person tells me I need to ride around the corner, to pull into a grocery store parking lot. I have to drive to the back of the parking lot, and there's an elevator there where I can take that elevator up. Once I get off of that elevator, I have to walk down the hallway and like into one building, into another building, which is their building. Then I have to catch the elevator up to their apartment, which is a lot. I've already been there 10 minutes. I already have another order that I need to drop off because it was a double order. So I tell the customer, basically, I don't feel comfortable doing that, especially because I've been to that apartment complex before. There's no access in that elevator. I have like a key fob, right? Or
where starts that order?
You said what?
From where starts that order?
What was that order?
From where store is that order?
It was from Super Chicken.
Around what time?
7 o'clock earlier tonight. It was for Super Chicken. It was to address 301. So basically,
do you remember who your customer name is?
No, I know the address was 301 South. You let me finish explaining. So basically, I tell the customer, can you please just come down and get the order? So I'm waiting for the customer. He takes another 10 minutes to come down. He or should have put in the note, hey, you can't park in front of my building because it's very blind. Go elevator. You're going to walk over to the next. Hello? Like, what the fuck? I knew. I explained it to that fucking stupid fucking bitch, and she does the same fucking thing, yo. I hope you have a fucking miscarriage. Like, I swear to God, I hope your fucking first kid's a fucking miscarriage. Fucking cunt. Like, seriously, what the fuck? Like, this bitch literally just fucking lied to me like that. We can only get a supervisor for a shop and pay order. Like, bitch, I just talked to a supervisor 10 times this week for not even shop and pay shit. Yeah, let me ask you, what support? What department is this? For Uber Eats?
Yes, live orders for Uber Eats.
Okay, all right. So basically, I'm calling in for an issue that happened earlier. And I've been trying to talk to a supervisor since 7 o'clock. And every support person that I talk to says they're going to put me over, and they put me on hold for like 30 or 40 minutes. A supervisor never comes onto the phone. Then the phone call gets hung up on, and then I have to call back again. And this has been going on since 7-something tonight. So I need to talk to a supervisor. I know you want me to explain to you the situation and what happened, right? All right. So what I'm saying is, I am video recording this conversation just like you're recording this conversation. Okay, so what I'm asking you right now is, if I explain to you the situation, you can transfer me to a supervisor in the Uber Eats department.
Yes, I can connect the call with Uber supervisor from Uber Eats.
Okay, I'm just making sure, because just like I told you, you're the sixth person I've talked to. All right, so the issue was, earlier tonight I got a double order from Super Chicken. I picked up the order, and the first address that I had to drop off was for 301 South Maple Ave. When I arrived to the drop-off location, it's an apartment complex, and you have to get access from the front desk concierge to get into their building. When I arrived, there was no front desk person there. But the street that the person lives on is a very busy street. You can't really double park out in front of their place. There's no parking out front. So call the customer and text them. They did not respond. As I'm sitting there waiting for maybe a resident or the concierge to come back, a police officer pulls up and tells me, "You cannot park here." So I'm about to get in my car and move. As I do that, the customer calls me. Well, actually, no. I tried to call the customer again. They texted me. Corrected. They text me and they tell me that I need to go to the parking garage around the corner, and I have to go in the elevator, take that up to the third floor. Then I have to walk down the hallway and then go into another building, which is their building, and then the concierge will give me access to their building, like to take the elevator. But by that time, I've already been there 10 minutes, right? And I tell him this, and I'm like, well, that sounds like a lot. And I've been to this apartment before, and I don't think that I'm allowed to have access to that elevator either. So I tell him that I'm like, I have another order to drop off. I gotta go. Is there any way you can just come down, get the order? So the customer is already kind of like mad that I'm asking him this, and he says, okay. He takes 10 minutes to come down to get his order. When he comes down, he definitely has an attitude. He doesn't say thank you or anything. He just grabs the bag and walks off. So I marked the order as dropped off, but the other order that I had ends up being canceled because I took too long trying to drop off this order. So I immediately call in to report the whole situation, and I asked her. Every person that I talk to says, yeah, I'm gonna transfer you over to a supervisor, but the phone call keep getting hung up on.
I'm sorry to hear that you have so many delivery with these calls. So yes, let me go and get a supervisor so I can tell you this. And so the customer was rude because you have to ask them to come out and pick up the order, right?
Yeah, it was rude, but it's like more than that. It's like the customer already knows that there's no parking in front of their building. I actually live on that street, right? So he should have already put in his notes, hey, you can't park in front. You can't park in the front of my building. Come into the Harrison Teeter parking lot, go to the elevator, and then catch the elevator up to the third floor, then come over to my building, and then the concierge will let you take the elevator up and drop off the order. Instead of having the driver pull in front of the building where there's no parking and then run the chance of them getting in trouble. Because if I had just let's say I would have double parked and then the concierge would have let me up in and I would have went up and made that delivery, the police officer would have pulled up. I wouldn't have been out there for him to tell me to move, and then he would have gave me a ticket for I think it's $40 to $100, right? So that in itself is not fair for drivers when the person can just come down and get their order. But I mainly needed to talk to a supervisor because of the second order being canceled, because of the first order taking so long because of that customer. And I needed to also talk to a supervisor for an incident that happened yesterday that I was told to call back in and talk to a supervisor if my fare did not get corrected. And what happened last night, I had a double order. The street that I had to take was blocked off. So I had to take a detour, which added an extra 28 miles to my trip. Right? So there was an extra 30 minutes that I didn't get paid for, and it was supposed to be waited, and I was supposed to be paid for it, but I still was not paid for it. So I need a supervisor so then they can basically give me the correct fare.
Okay, yes, no worries. But you say that they also write you a ticket, right?
Yes.
They gave you a ticket? Okay. So please hold on the line so I can connect you call with the supervisor. Please 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
The carport. What the fuck? That's 3334. Hello?
Yeah, okay. Hi there, Lane. This is one of the supervisors. How are you?
I'm doing fine, and yourself?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. Okay, yeah, regarding your concern, my team member, this particular delivery
Yes.
that you have completed.
Well, right now,
He explained to you the whole situation.
You have completed this one.
Talked to a supervisor since then, and every support person that I've talked to, they keep saying that they're going to transfer me over, but the phone call ends up getting cut off. So then I have to call back in and explain to them the whole situation all over again, and then they'll try to do it. Obviously, I'm finally talking to a supervisor. So the situation that happened is earlier tonight, around it was my first delivery. I got a double order from Super Chicken. When I was going to the first drop-off location, the person lived in an apartment complex that was on it's like on a very busy road, so you can't really park out front, because if you park out front, you're gonna be blocking one of the lanes of traffic, and it's right near a freaking traffic light, right? So basically I was parked out front, but the concierge was also not the concierge was not there to let me into the building too. So I couldn't get in the customer, and they did not pick up.
Okay.
I tried to,
This one, I'll be checking this further. Lane, please be on the line for the 2 minutes. I'll keep you posted. Okay? I'll be on hold now. Thank you.
reroute me so I could drop the order off. He calls the customer, they reroute me, but upon rerouting me, added a lot of time to the trip. The support person promised me that if I drop it off, what they're going to do is they're going to document the extra time that it took me to do, and I would be paid for it. But then also to call back in after the trip was up, so they would know the exact amount of time it took me to finish the order. I call back in, I talk to that support person. He tells me that I drove an extra 30 miles, and it took me what was it? I was supposed to drive 12 miles, and I ended up driving 38 miles, right? That's how long the delivery was supposed to be. And he documented everything and said that I was supposed to, the fare was supposed to change, and I was supposed to get paid for that. Upon checking today, nothing's changed. So I didn't get paid for the extra mile that I drove last night. The appeal is, do you see where somebody put in the appeal on my account?
Yes, that's what I'm looking at right now.
Because the miscellaneous fee that I got the other night was because I had an alcohol pickup, and basically I drove to the person's house. I was like 5 minutes away to drop the order off, and the person canceled the order. So then I had to drive all the way back to like drop the alcohol off. And when I got back to the store was closed. So I couldn't drop the alcohol off, right? So that's what the miscellaneous payment was for. The first one that I got earlier was because it took me an hour to drop off my first alcohol, because the customer was like, he was being very difficult. I couldn't find his address, and I tried to contact him, and basically wouldn't answer the phone. Then he finally answers the phone. I was videotaping, and I sent photos and stuff. He was like, let me try to direct you to the location. So after that, he tried to direct me to the location, but I've already been driving around for 15 minutes. I proceeded to ask him to meet me at this church that he was saying. He was basically telling me I have to find this church on M Street, then I have to park my car on M Street, then I have to walk through a walkway, through a courtyard, and then his building is the third building over, which is like, you can't see that from the street. So I was like, well, I've already been driving around. Can you meet me at the church at least? He says, no, you need to come to me. Well, I was like, well, I've only been driving around for 15 minutes. I'll just cancel the order and take it back to the store. He says, you better not have to do that. I'll get you fired and stuff like that. And he was like, please just bring it. So I was like, all right. He was like, I'll meet you at the courtyard. So I said, okay. I walked to the courtyard to meet him, and he doesn't show up for 9 or 15 minutes. Then when he shows up, he grabs the alcohol out of my hand and starts walking off. So then I have to like walk him down to get his to get his ID off of him to finish the order. So then I finally get the ID off of him to do that. The order, like, you know what I mean? It's taken me almost an hour to drop off this order, right? I have everything documented. So as me talking, I called in to report that order. Then I got the second order for the alcohol. I'm talking to support, driving the order out to this person. Then they see that the order gets canceled as soon as I get out there. Then they tell me that I need to take the alcohol back to the store. I drive the alcohol back to the store and it is closed. So that's what those miscellaneous payments were for. So to me, and I'm just saying this to you, for me to get my account put on restriction because of valid reasons is kind of messed up. Because it's like now, if I do something else that needs to be a miscellaneous payment like this, I'm not allowed to get paid for whatever I do. If I wait 10 minutes, over 10 minutes for an order, and I call to get it canceled, then what's gonna happen? You're like, hey, I can't give you $3. You just waited 15 minutes for nothing, right? So, like, if the order's not ready when I get there, I should be able to call in to get it canceled right away, correct?
Yes, you can. It's your discretion.
Well, it shouldn't be like. Do you understand what you're saying? All right. So if a driver waits 10 minutes, what are they supposed to get? $3, correct?
Supposedly, yes, for the waiting time.
Okay. Well, I mean, of course, because who's gonna drive somewhere and waste their time without? That's why you give the $3 miscellaneous fee, correct? So,
Yeah.
okay. So the point that I'm trying to make is, I'm not allowed to get the $3 anymore. So what's the point? Why should I wait Why should I wait 10 minutes when I don't get nothing out of it? You feel what I'm saying? You're just gonna be wasting my time. If I have to drive 15 minutes to a restaurant and then wait 10 minutes and then something happens, I get nothing out of it. That means I'm basically just driving around doing everything for free.
For yes, because your account is still under review. So the good thing is if we're going to wait until 10 minutes, there are chances for you to receive the item, for you to deliver it to the customer.
I mean, I'm just not gonna deliver with Uber Eats. Okay. And what about and hold on, what about me getting paid for the mileage that I drove last night? What? So you're telling me now, so you're telling me that the support person lied to me because they said that I was promised to get the fare for driving an extra. See, this is what I'm talking about. I could have just canceled the order last night, but I basically delivered the food for free unless this appeal goes through, and now I have to call back in and maybe spend another 2 hours just to get money that is owed to me. Like, do you understand why that didn't make any sense? You can do right now. I don't feel comfortable having to call back in when this money should be guaranteed to me. There's nothing that I've done wrong. If anything, it's y'all that have messed up on my account. Telling me, right, too, that if I take this, like, you know what I mean? I could see if the person was like, hey, if I give you this miscellaneous fee, your account could possibly be affected. But nobody's saying that to me. You know what I mean? I'm calling in and explaining the situation that happens, and the support person's like, hey, because that happened and we looked at everything, I'm going to give you a $10 miscellaneous fee, or I'm going to give you a $3 miscellaneous fee. And then I'm like, okay, thank you, and that's it. And then when I call back in to ask about, to tell about a problem, now you're telling me that my account's put under, it's restricted, right?
Actually, that's why there's an appeal lane, because it's beyond.
But my account has already been appealed. I just went through an appeal process this week that was supposed to be lifted. You see that, right? I know you see it because I just talked to a supervisor yesterday. And they had to fix another situation. Was it yesterday or was it the day before yesterday? It was whenever it was. And the same person told me, she was like, I already see that your account appeal process was done and the appeal was approved. Right?
Let me confirm with that one. Okay, because
I mean, I have documentation that that the appeal process was approved. And just like I told you too, I am videotaping it. Well, actually, it's not even videotaping. This is live. Like I'm live on YouTube. There's like 100 something people watching. So they've seen every conversation that I've had tonight, and I do this just for transparency to show how support it, you know what I mean, how support is and how Uber treats their drivers that are just doing what they're supposed to do. Because like I said, I'm asking you, the appeal process went through, correct?
Yeah, okay, it's already ongoing. Just wait an update within 24
No, I'm not asking you that. Then was there? It's like not cool at all. It's getting to be really, really not cool because it's like no reason why my account should be it should be restricted. No reason why my account should be restricted. No fucking reason why my account should be unrestricted, and that's the type of shit that I'm talking about. And it's 100% Uber's fault. And I see that now. It's like, man, I gotta stop doing it. I'm about to stop doing it, but I've had to spend a lot of money, so I'm trying to like stay afloat until I get all this other money coming in next month. But at the end of the day, I think I should sue Uber. I think I'm gonna have to sue Uber. I need to talk to some type of lawyer, because there's so much money that realistically they're taking from that they're owed. Because it's just like this situation, right? Say I cancel a bunch of orders. That goes to my cancellation rate. They can deactivate my account. That in itself kind of shows that I'm not a 1099. It's kind of like I'm working for y'all, right? So if you can punish me from that, but I don't get any punishment for anything else that happens. If I have to wait a long time for a customer, right, and they don't come down, right, there's nothing that I can do. Now, what you'll do is you might help me a couple of times, but if it happens too many times, what you're going to tell me is, your account is now restricted, right? Which doesn't make any sense. Why should my account be restricted? When these are issues that realistically, it's like like what else the fuck am I supposed to do? If I show up to a restaurant and the fucking order is miscellaneous fee, and it happens a bunch of times during the week because I'm working a bunch, how you the next time this shit happens, your accounts, we're not gonna pay you. But realistically, you have to drive there and you have to wait 10 minutes before you can cancel it without getting in trouble. But when you do that, we're no longer gonna compensate you for waiting like we normally would. So to me, I'm just gonna fuck around here. I'm about to make Uber. I'm about to start stealing food. I'm about to do a whole bunch of fuckery shit. Watch what I do from now on. If I see an order that I like, I'm stealing that shit. I don't get no fucking. Hello, I got two reviews to pick up. One of them is right there, 2DB, and the other one is 394.
Él me dijo. ¿Sí? Ajá. Yo por favor me dio risa de algo. Ajá. Sí, échate al sol, nada más. Y yo patinando con todo lo que hay en otra casa. ¿Igual? Oh, de la boda. ¿Ya no? ¿La canceló? Caramelo María, vale, déjale no más de 6, por favor. Mañana sin sal, mañana. ¿Dos, verdad? Serían... No, una. Una nomás. Dos, welcome to Orange. Y después las 2 horas después. You want to get that? Will you say one more time for Uber?
You said what? It's those 394 and D2B, both of those. Hey, excuse me, can I get those orders?
Esos dos, Javi, los tienen listos ya, ¿no de verdad?
It's both of those, yes, both of those orders, please. Thank you.
Sir.
What? These are both mine. 394 D2B. 394 D2B.
Es que hay una que ya se fue. ¿Cuál es? Porque tengo la olorcina puesto. Es que ya vi, la dieron, yo la vi, me dieron equivocada. Hubo espacio de la